One of the biggest draws to our software is our AI ChatBot feature, where you can set up a bot that'll message back and forth with your leads and your clients on autopilot. So I'm going to show you how to set that up in this video. Inside of your account, if you go down to settings, we're going to go to the conversation AI tab right here. And this will take us to where we can train and configure our bot so it knows everything about our business and can answer questions for people and ultimately get them to book an appointment on our calendar. That's what the bot is best used for. But you can also just set it up to answer general questions that people ask it. So we have our preferences here. Right now it's turned off by default, but whenever we've set it completely up, we can turn it on autopilot and it'll start messaging with any new leads that we capture and that message us first. So we can send it up through a couple different channels: SMS, Facebook, and Messenger, Instagram DMs, Google My Business messaging, and our chat widget on our website. So we can have it run on all these different ones if we want, or if we're like, and we only want it to run through Instagram DMs, we could select just Instagram. But whatever ones you've selected here, the bot will start messaging any new inbound messages that come through. And so just be careful which ones you select. If you don't want a certain channel to be engaged with the AI bot when people message, then don't select it. Right here, we can go to naming our business. So let's say my business is called Business 101. So put in the name of your business there so the bot knows what the business is called that it's representing. Autopilot mode here, we can wait a certain amount of time before responding to our lead that has messaged us first through Instagram. And so I like to just turn this down to seconds. I like to do like 10 seconds. I want the bot to respond back and forth quickly. I don't want it to wait too long before it responds to somebody, because maybe they lose interest, they keep scrolling Instagram, and then they forget about it. So we want to make sure we keep our clients and leads engaged in the conversation and respond quickly with our bot. Maximum messages a bot can send to a contact. I like to bump this up as high as we can go, which is 25, which is plenty of messages back and forth to be able to help somebody answer their questions and ultimately get them to book a call, if that's the goal that we set up for the bot. And then send bot to sleep when I send a message manually or through workflows. I like to set this up to like 5 hours. If I jump in manually at any time and I send a text message, or sorry, in this case, an Instagram DM, that's what we have selected. If I join and send a manual Instagram DM myself and it's not the AI bot, then the bot will shut off. It'll know, okay, he went in, he messaged the lead, I'm not going to message for the next 5 hours. So it'll go to sleep for however long you set it up here. The AI bot does cost an extra 2 cents per response. So you have to also pay for any text messages or anything like that the bot sends as well. They're really cheap, 2 cents per response. You can basically send 1,000 messages for $20. So it's really not that expensive when you think about it. And you can also upgrade to our unlimited plan for $79 per month. And you get, if you know you're going to be spending more than $79 a month worth of credits here, you might as well just upgrade to our unlimited plan and pay the $79 per month. But anyway, you're probably not going to exceed that. That's a ton of messages you have to send. And the Instagram DMs are free, but the bot does cost the 2 cents to generate each message reply. Next up, we're going to go to our bot training, which is where the magic happens. This is where we can feed our bot question and answer and just different information about our business so that it'll be able to respond and answer any questions that it's asked. The more training you do, the better. We can plug in, if you built your website with our software, you can plug in your website domain here, hit get data, and it'll scrape your website and all of the information on it, and it'll train the bot on the info that's on the website. Super powerful. If your website was not built inside of the software and is not hosted inside of our software, then you won't be able to do this. It doesn't work with every website, just websites inside of our software. So you can do everything manually, which is totally fine. We can go down here, click add Q&A, and we could say, a common question we get in our business is like, what services do you offer? So if somebody asks this question, or even a variation of this question, maybe they don't ask exactly what services do you offer and spell it out just like this. Maybe they say, what do y'all offer? It would read as the same thing, and the bot is smart and it understands what the person means, even if it's not the exact phrase that we're putting here. And then we can say, we offer X, Y, and the products and services, right? You put whatever you actually offer. And you can tell the bot how to respond going forward. And so it'll respond with this answer, or it'll be smart and it'll be human and it'll respond with an answer similar. So it doesn't respond with the exact same thing every time. So you can add as many. You're just going to hit save after you add your first Q&A, and you can add as many of these as you want. The more training you do, the better. Just make sure to put in any question you could ever think somebody would ever ask about your business, and the bot will be ready to respond to any messages that it receives, any questions that it gets. Lastly, we have our configure and temps tab right here. we have what we want the bot to ultimately do. We can set it up to be support and general question and answer, and that's what it's on by default. But we can actually have it, instead of just answering questions and leaving it at that and not taking the conversation anywhere, we can have it book appointments, and that's the best use case for these bots. That's where the money is made. And so we can enable appointment booking, and then we can select from our calendars. So in an earlier video in the training, you learned how to set up your calendar. Once you set up that calendar, you'll be able to select from your different calendars here, and you can say, all right, I want the bot to book my appointments with these leads onto our business booking calendar. And then you could also have the bot only send the booking link. So the bot can say, after they've had a conversation, would you like to book? The person says yes. The bot will send them a booking link. And we can check that if we want them just to send the link to our calendar and let the lead book themselves. Or if we check this off, the bot will ask, hey, would Monday or Wednesday work better for you? Monday, great. Would a morning or afternoon? So it'll do like a 2-option close with the lead through messaging, and it'll actually book the lead in on its own. The lead doesn't have to do anything. The lead just has to tell the bot when it wants to book, when they want to book, and it'll book them in. So you can set it up either way. You could just send them the link and let them book it themselves through the link, or we can have the bot book it for them just by asking them questions of when they're available. So really powerful stuff there. And then we can add a custom conversation flow. So this is really powerful with businesses. Let's say you're a mortgage company or a real estate agent, and you want qualified leads that are actually looking to buy a home or sell a home, and you want to ask them specific questions before it books the appointment. You can add a conversation flow of questions you wanted to ask. So the first question could be, what area are you looking to buy a home in? So maybe we need to know which area they're in, because if we're a realtor, we can only work in a certain location. So we want to know, all right, is this lead in my area? Awesome. Then we can add another one. What price range are you looking in? So we now know, all right, this is how expensive this potential customer is looking to go on their home purchase. Then we could say, are you pre-qualified with a mortgage company already? ? And we can just ask different questions as part of the conversation. The bot won't just ask these questions. It'll also acknowledge what the person said, and then it'll segue into asking these questions. So it'll be conversational, fully conversational, to where it'll be able to acknowledge what the person says, make them feel good, and then also to get these questions answered. So I'm going to save these couple right here, and you can go more in depth if you want to ask more questions as part of the conversation. This is a great way to get pre-qualified leads, to where that they're qualified before you're jumping on the call with them, because they answered these questions in a positive way that makes them qualified. After all of this is set up, we can go to the bot trial, and this is where we can actually test the bot. So we can say, hey, and see how the bot responds. Hey there, what's on your mind today? I'm looking to buy a home. And we can give it a thumbs up or thumbs down, depending on how we like the bot's response. If we put thumbs down, we can say, and somebody says, hey, going forward, we want you to respond in this way going forward. We didn't like how you responded there. So you could actually train it live here inside of the training. And we could say, ask them if they are looking to buy or sell. Sorry, that would be incorrect. We want to say like what we want the bot to say. So it'd be, are you looking to buy or sell a home in, let's say, Charlotte? ? So anytime somebody says, hey, we can say, hey back, and then we can train the bot to respond that way going forward in the future. And then we can have the bot, let's say it says, awesome, buying a home is a big step. How can I assist you with the information you might need for the process? We can ask it questions. I'm going to reset the conversation now that I've trained it, and I'm going to say, hey again, and you can see now the bot will say, hey there, what areas are you looking to buy a home in? And so that's the response we told it to go say in the future, because we trained it with the thumbs down. I'm going to say like Charlotte NC, and then the bot will respond. Great, Charlotte has some lovely areas. What price range are you looking in? So now it's asking those qualifying questions that we set up. And I can say probably 400K. And then it will say, sounds good. That's a healthy budget for the area. Are you pre-qualified with a mortgage company already? So now it's asking that other question that we told it we wanted it to ask. and we can say, yes, I am. And then let the bot book the appointment with us. Perfect. Now that we've got you all sorted out, how about we find a time for you to come in and talk options? When do you want to book for? And we could say, how about this Monday? And it'll conversationally book the appointment with us. If that's the way you set it up. If you set it up for it to just send the link, then you can send the link to them, and then it'll tell them when they have openings. We have some openings on March 18th, 2024, which is Monday. Available slots include 8 a.m., 8:30, 9, 9:30, 10. Pick a slot that works for you. So just give them options. They can pick from a time, and then we'll book them in. And so you can test the bot out and just see how it's working in person. This doesn't cost money to test it. It only costs the 2 cents when you're actually sending a live message. So test it as much as you want until it's perfect, just the way you like it. And then you can go back to bot settings and then turn it on autopilot and then hit save. And now the bot will be live and active, messaging back and forth with your lead and clients through whatever channels you've selected here. And so that's how you set up the bot. Hope this was helpful. Let us know if you have any questions.